How have our roots, Punjabi cultural roots, what are they like? What do you think?
Well, what the roots are, I was thinking in my mind, just on the way here as well, when I was thinking of roots, that if you got a tree has roots.
Definitely,
Or
yeah.
flowers roots. I don't know if that flower's still here in the corner there, even though it's a plastic one. But you know, any plant or tree has roots.
Definitely, yeah.
You can have roots without the tree or the plant, but you can't have a tree or plant without the roots. So the roots are very important. If the roots are not taken care of, then the whole tree can die. So if you hack a root, the roots of a tree, then the whole tree can die. If you deprive the roots of the water for a plant, a flower or tree, then the whole plant, tree or the flower would die. So the roots are very important, and they go very deep. Because if you look at a tree, I think it was a few weeks ago, me and my dad, he bought a new tree. It's got like a pink flowers. It's probably be a bit nice.
Is that something you chose? Or?
No, those have got a few white flowers. I thought it might look a bit angry. Not that I wear pink at the start or anything, but I thought it'd be nice to have some pink flowers. That, as we were digging the hole in front of the house to put to plant the tree, and when you were digging down, and it's amazing how the tree, which is a bit of a distance away, but its roots were going underneath that area.
Yeah.
It had gone so deep that even when we were going and digging down in that hole, you could see to cut that area, they cut the roots there. So it's amazing to see how the roots spread out as well, and they're very deep, and they all connect to the one. So coming back and linking to the show, that who we are, that where we are, we have a roots, a foundation, similar to we can have a building, and every building has a foundation. You can't have a building without a foundation, but you can have a foundation without a building. Similar, our Sikhi, or our culture, our religious identity, or our cultural identity has a roots, the background. And that's very important. So where we are today, some of you might be sitting there, you might be thinking, I'm not very religious, and that's why we opened that to.
Yep.
And you might be thinking, why do I need to learn about Sikhi? Why do I need to learn about the Sikh faith? But who you are, that all comes down to your foundation of roots, your blood within you. Your history makes you present. And that's why it's very important to know your roots, your past, because knowing that, appreciating that, you can improve your future as well.
Definitely. I mean, I totally agree with that. I mean, once I was in school, in fact, and a lot of teachers were asking me, so as you Sikhs, do you go to parties, do you do this? And just me being innocent, I just thought, yeah, I go to parties every Saturday, they're amazing, go to weddings, there's loads of food there. I mean, firstly, I think what we need to do is discuss how we got into this Sikhi.
I think that would be good.
So, if you want me, do you want me to start with that?
Yeah. I think Paji's story, I've heard it before, at the Edward Street camp, very interesting. Then I'll chip in afterwards.
Definitely. Okay, basically, from a young age, I've always been to the sort of a cultural sort of scene of Sikhism, as people would say. But in my teenage years mainly, I used to be a really sort of naughty boy, you could say. Never used to pay attention to work, even though I used to be able to get B's and C's and A's in school even. I just, it's one of those things where I just couldn't really be asked with studying. Coursework wasn't really my main sort of thing, you could say. And from there, I sort of, there's something different I sort of needed. And I wasn't really the type of person. So what I did was started DJing. I thought, you know what, I like my music, because since I was small, I've always liked music. You can ask my mum even, if you know my mum.
I'm sure Auntie G is watching. Just to add there, as he's mentioned his mum, Auntie G made some very nice dal sabji just before we came here, so thank you very much, Auntie. I'm sure that'll get us through the show as well. So I promised that I was going to mention Auntie G.
Nice one. So basically, I thought, hang on, I need something in my life. So what I did is I took DJ, and I thought, hang on, I've loved music when I was small. Like Faisal mentioned, my mum, basically when I was small, I used to take my mum's Pandey out of the cupboards and get the, gosh, I used to whack that onto the thing, thinking I was a drummer or something from a rock band. So I used to think, hang on, I used to love music, and I don't know if I did my mum's head in with those, but since then I've always had music into my whole life. I've loved music. So I thought, let's start a career in DJing. So then, as everyone probably knows, but my name is Bass. A lot of people used to call me DJ Bassing. Used to go to different clubs, pubs, and they on this DJ Kanu. And I made my name sort of big underneath the underground sort of scene within the industry, mixing tracks from like drum and bass, hip hop and stuff like that. So it was something big for me. as soon as I hit, like, after sixth form, so, you know, sixth form days, you know, your friends, because I had to, the main thing I should say is
What was your
Sangat.
main Sangat?
My main Sangat was basically people from, like, the Gore, Kale sort of industry. They weren't really someone I'd be very happy with because, well, I was happy at the time drinking and stuff, but now I think back to it and I chose the wrong people. But it all comes down to Sangat. And the thing is, when I was DJing, people used to give me pump, as they would say, pumping, you know. Yeah, DJ karda. And
apne bande or your friends?
No, these were my friends, and I used to wear earrings, and I used to have shaved. Shaved nahi karte hunde. I used to have like triangles. Yeah, I used to have the zigzag. Unfortunately, as they call it. People used to do say I used to have train tracks. So I used to be like, yeah. Anyway, back to the story. With that in mind, it's something I loved. I loved music. But the thing was, I wasn't getting peace, happiness from it. I was getting sort of, I could say, a materialistic or sort of happy version of happiness. But it wasn't something that I could, you know what, I could say I was really happy, I love doing this. Don't get me wrong, I love my music, love drum and bass. I'm not knocking people who do love music. That's totally up to you. I'm not here to say, don't listen to it. But what I can say is, from my own experience, right, from what happened in my story was, we used to go to West Bromwich quite a lot. I used to link some of my friends there. Used to think, hang on, you know, this is wicked, love going out, going pubs, clubs. And there's a couple of Singhs there, and I knew them because I see them around in schools and stuff. And I said to them, hang on, Singh, you want to come to a pub tonight? There's me asking an Umritari saying, you want to come to a pub? And I didn't know any better, so I mean, I sort of knew what Gursikhs were, but when you see his on video, music videos, that's it. I didn't know him, but and spoke to him, and he goes, Singh, I don't go clubs. I go, acha, okay, you don't like the smell of smoke? Because back then, they've banned smoking now in pubs. Back then, they used to smell, so is it because of the smoke? He goes, no, Singh, I'm Umritari. And I go, yeah, but why does that stop you from going to a club? Main na socha nahi si. It is sochi, so I just thought, hang on, what's happening? So he goes to me, he turned the question on to me, he goes to me, do you want to come to Kirtan? I'll go, I don't go to things like that, man. Kirtan, are you mad? With my earrings on, I look stupid. He goes, no, Singh, come, it's wicked. So then I noticed after, I thought, hang on, shall I not? Mind you, there was in two sides, and I think
that's the worst situation, that's a very dangerous situation.
Yeah, and I thought, shall I do it? Shall I? Maybe. And then what happened, I got a phone call, they go, bass. I go, yeah, what's up, mate? He goes, your gig has been cancelled.
Why?
I go, huh? You know about my gigs? He goes, yeah, there was a fight, it's been cancelled, I'm sorry, but we'll have to keep you away from the building, you can't DJ. Alright. Okay, I just took that. I think that's hookum, really. That's it, it's fine. From there, I just thought, you know what, I might as well just go Kirtan. And that day when I went Kirtan, it was the most happiest day of my life because it was music, you know. I felt music.
Because you had a music connection before.
Yeah, I just felt it there in that room. It was really nice. I mean, playing the tabla, I didn't know idea what tabla is. Market Park, I play tabla now. I don't know if people probably disagree with me. But it's so different, the atmosphere. It was so, it was more alive, you know.
Was it just like a local Kirtan program, or was it what?
I mean, it was like what we used to do. We used to have a little house. The Gurdwara used to give us a house. Because they used to have a Khanpats on Fridays. So obviously, we can't really do Kirtan when the Khanpats going on. So they gave us a little house, and we were very happy.
So it was like a Naujawan youth program?
Yeah, it was a Naujawan. And a lot of people from Handsworth. People came from Handsworth, Birmingham. Some people came from London. So I found that after, I thought people come all the way, that long away, that far away, just to come to, you know, to Kirtan program in Birmingham. I was shocked. Anyway, I went in and I listened to Kirtan, like Naujawan Singh, and he was doing Kirtan. I was just so impressed by his voice, the way he was doing the shabads. I was really impressed. And you know, when you listen to something and you never forget it, it was one of those moments, and I love that moment, and I've never forgotten that.